It finally happened. We finally had the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. And if you want to see the full reaction, please check the link in the description below. So let's get on with the review. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. I'm going to break this video up into sections so it is easy for you to pick out which parts you want to watch if you don't want to see the entire video. The sections will be the console, Joy-Cons, voice chat, peripherals, games, and finally my final thoughts on the entire Direct with a score. So let's begin. The console, as you likely know by now, is called the Nintendo Switch 2. It has a 7.9 inch screen, which is a significant improvement from the 6.2 inch screen of the original Switch, and the 7 inches on the Nintendo Switch OLED. The display has been upgraded from 720p to 1080p, and when docked, the Switch can now display up to 4K in resolution with HDR. The handheld screen also supports up to 120 frames per second. Overall, I think the system looks pretty awesome. Moving on to the Joy-Cons, which they eloquently called Joy-Cons 2, but I will continue to call them 2-Cons, as that is a much better name. With the 2-Cons, we now have mouse control with our games on a home console. Though I do need to think about the practicality of playing games with the mouse method, for as a lot of us do play on the sofa as opposed to playing on a desk. The 2-Cons also have larger analog sticks, larger buttons, and a C button, which I will cover in the voice chat section of the video. The rail system on the previous Joy-Cons have now been replaced with magnets. How strong they are remains to be seen, but I can guarantee they will be a damn sight stronger than the rail system on the previous generation. The Switch 2 has been built with voice chat in mind, which is crazy considering this is from a company that has always been behind on social features in video games. I'm looking at you, Wii microphone. Even voice chat on the original Switch was an afterthought, resulting in you having to use an app on your phone. So having an inbuilt microphone on the Nintendo Switch is a huge bonus. And it is also packed with noise isolation technology. So even when you're playing in docked mode, the system can still hear you and isolates all the sounds around you. And as an extra, you can also buy a camera to put yourself in the games you're playing. I will go into more detail regarding the camera in the peripheral section of the video. To help manage the social sections, Nintendo has added a C button onto their controllers. Pressing the C button, we open a menu where we can mute conversations, open the camera, and adjust volumes. Along with this, it also offers the options to share gameplay, or it can also serve as a hangout spot where you all stream. You'll share your screen playing individual games each whilst having a chat, which is pretty neat. Though in the Direct, the shared screens were extremely laggy, extremely low FPS, and I'm talking like less than 20 FPS. It just didn't seem enjoyable, if that makes sense. It isn't the groundbreaking feature I wanted from Nintendo. 2 additional peripherals were announced for the Switch 2. The first being a camera, which, considering its focal length, I do not expect it to do very well in low light situations, which is where I do most of my gaming. And although it looks pretty neat, I think it would have been better if it was inbuilt to the dock itself, which makes me feel like the camera was actually a bit of an afterthought. Secondly, we have a new Pro controller, which is almost exactly the same as the previous generation, which is good. It still has the 40 hours battery life according to the website. It has a C button, and it's got 2 programmable buttons on each of the prongs as well, to do with as you will. That is all. Finally, the exciting part, the games. What games are coming out? Obviously, I'm not going to list all of the games, just the most notable ones. Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour is a tech demo I am shocked Nintendo are charging for. It's actually criminal and yes, I will be buying it, and yes, I know I am part of a problem. Drag X Race, similar to ARMS of Nintendo Switch, will literally only be there to showcase what the Toucans are capable of in this vein. Yeah, pretty much. It is essentially Rocket League in wheelchairs, which I think is awesome, and I cannot wait to play this game. We also have Donkey Kong Bonanza, I love that word, Bonanza, which we all thought was going to be a Mario game, but we're getting a new Donkey Kong game, and it looks amazing. I cannot wait to play this game. I need more information now. And we also have Mario Kart World, which is by far the second best looking game announced for the Nintendo Switch 2 so far. The best being Metroid Prime 4, which is currently one of the games that has been announced where you can actually play the game whilst using your Joy-Con as a mouse, so keyboard and mouse controls for lack of better description. And it also is one of the few games announced so far that has multiple performance options with fidelity and performance, obviously, which I'm not actually a big fan of. Just tell me how to play the game. I don't want these choices. It's going to be frustrating because I'm going to be playing it thinking, ooh, would it be better like this? Ooh, would it be better like that? It's really annoying. Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment also looks amazing. Hopefully it doesn't have the performance issues of Age of Calamity. However, I am in the minority here. I love performance issues in Dynasty Warriors games. Takes me back to the PS2, playing Dynasty Warriors 3, where I got excited if it was slowed down. I was like, oh wow, I'm being extra badass right now. If I made the entire game slow down, it was like a badge of honor if I managed to do it. We're also getting Kirby Air Riders, which looks awesome. I actually looked up the previous game and it looks awesome, but I never actually played it myself, so this will be my introduction to the series, essentially. And FromSoft are releasing a new game called Duskbloods. I love vampires. There's not enough vampire games, but we've been getting a lot of vampire games lately. Potato, can't wait to play it. And personally, in terms of games, the thing I'm most excited for about the Nintendo Switch 2 is the inclusion of GameCube entering NSO. There are a lot of GameCube games I love playing, however, they have not announced Donkey Konga. Overall, the Direct was good. The stream crashed at one point. I had to switch to Nintendo UK, which will most likely be the stream I will always use in the future. And it was odd no prices were shown, and then they were announced on the website and I understood why they did not announce the prices. The games are costing £70 each minimum, and the camera, that really ridiculous low quality camera, £90! Can understand they knew they were going to get a lot of stigma, so if they knew it was a bad price, why do they? Nintendo are weird sometimes, aren't they? Overall, I give the Direct an 8 out of 10. I do feel they could have done more to sell the Switch 2 to the public, and the price is one of them. Anyway, that's all from me. See you next week. Bye!